We had to restart the whole program last time.
Yeah. So, do I have sound now? Do I got sound now? Laura? Hello. Might be a little delay. So we've been talking to ourselves. Nobody's been hearing anything.
Really?
Let's start from scratch.
Okay.
I don't know.
Redo.
We do. Okay, good.
Redo. So,
Linda
what do you think
Linda
about
says
that?
we got sound now. So there was this little icon, that I silenced because it was on while we were in here before, so I had to click it again. So here we go. All right. So we were talking about, the exercise that we had Wednesday that Rich was a big part of. Matter of fact, he put it together and set it up down at the firehouse, and we had about 18 people there. And so it was a statewide exercise.
I was very happy with the showing. We had 15 to 18 people, everywhere from a couple of the town selectmen for a little while until they had to go to their signing or meeting or whatever, and down all the town clerk, voter registrars, Democrat, Republican town, what do you call them? Chairmans, emergency management, fire chiefs. But there were some seats missing, which would have been a great aspect if they could have been there for the exercise. But overall, I thought it went very well. Yeah. Most people we've ever had for an exercise. And I was saying, I hope it showed why we needed that amount of people and those different people in the seats to fill in and make decisions that are important. So if that was real, we would have been scrambling trying to make some decisions if they weren't there. But
there was some.
And I saw some things that probably need to be done for next time. Making a list, which is good.
There was a lot of questions that weren't really answerable at our level. I mean, it was a lot of them. It's like it's more of a state level type of thing. I don't know why they were dumping it down.
Well, I know why. I can tell you why. We have those questions that develop there, and then the EOC's job is to call the state and send those forms in to get those answers. So that's really what they were trying to get at. So we realized that we can't answer that question.
Right.
And then who would we ask? That was what they were looking for. So that's the answer I put down is call state police, call Secretary of State. And that form I was filling out on the screen, that goes, if it was real, would go to the Secretary of State and the intelligence unit and stuff. But that's where a lot of that comes into play is I think eventually we need to do a town training with, like people were saying in the hot wash after action. Is we need training on this.
We call it debrief or lessons learned. That's what we call
it. They changed the name, and depending on where you are, it's kind of. I was sitting there a couple years ago. Someone's like, "Oh, we got to have a hot wash." I'm like, showering? I don't know what. And
that sounds like fun.
That year they changed the name to Hot Wash.
Yeah. Okay.
And no one can explain to me where the name Hot Wash came from.
Yeah. When I was still working, that's what they called it too. After the event, it was always a hot wash, and it's like, listen, it's just a follow-up discussion.
Yeah.
What do we do right? What do we do wrong? Where can we improve?
Yeah. But I think one of the big aspects I took out of it is we need to have a town department head type of training on what is this stuff, how does it work, and I'm putting that in the after action report, sending out to everybody.
Okay.
But I think that's a big takeaway. Is you had a lot of people asking questions. Well, what is that? What is this? Why are we?
Why are we doing?
Why are we even sitting here?
Why are we even sitting here?
Yeah. So.
Well, a lot of it's a state mandate. This is what they want us to do. This is what us to get ready for. And if you've never done it and you get into a situation, then it's going to be chaotic. And if you've done a couple run throughs, then you have some kind of an idea what you're stepping into.
And as crazy as the election scenario, I guess people thought, I thought the way they did the questions and ran everything, it really brought a lot of questions and answers to light because they threw in the fire aspect, the hazmat, terrorist, drones. I mean, who would have thought that drones would be a problem?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure it's stuff that has happened. That's how they come up with these things, right? You watch some of them TV shows, the police shows, that this is not based on a real life story. Well, let's be honest.
Guess what? Yeah.
It is. And where do you think these people?
Some names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Exactly.
Hey, so I got a couple comments picking on me, but the sound issue. Now it's like a Thursday's on there, so I changed that. Everybody happy now.
Zippity doo dah.
And there's Mike waking up. There you go. He's got the backseat drivers.
Oh, yeah.
In,
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, and then we talked about the town.
Yeah.
The meeting on that they left from the exercise, go get some signings, which they have some issues they have to deal with through the state, and some looks like some delays as always when you're trying to do stuff. So they're still looking to break ground on the 17th, is what Mr. Grabowski said.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
So
See what happens.
that's the goal. So we'll see
What's
happens.
today?
14th.
Oh yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 days. You haven't even done.
Yeah, but the stuff was kind of small potatoes. It was, silt barriers, and it was.
Is that the stuff you roll out?
Yeah, that goes on the wooden stakes
yeah,
to keep
orange netting,
sand
stuff
and
like
dirt
that.
and all that from.
Well, we can go to
going
Home
into the
Depot
river.
and get some, right? I mean,
Yeah, cover up your storm drains so stuff doesn't go down storm drains.
Oh, that should be
Okay.
all covered by the contractors
beforehand,
doing the
right?
work.
Exactly. But that's the type of stuff that was in the minutes from the meeting, and it was just like, I don't think it's nothing that was insurmountable in a couple of days,
Mhm.
other than something to do with USDA. I don't know if there was still some permits that needed to be signed. I don't know what they were.
Oh, I wonder if they can't sign the permits till that stuff is down.
I don't know.
Maybe that's part of the problem.
Everything's well, I don't know.
It's all
think-
hypothetical.
So it
but
was just
yeah.
like it's just like the chicken and the egg thing.
Yeah.
Mm,
Can you start to work until the USDA permits are signed? Or you can't sign the permits until you do
You're all
all
set to go.
pre-work or
State
whatever.
comes in
It's
and
like
says, there's just
you know,
one last little thing.
Well, did you guys see this? No,
Didn't
that
you see
paper wasn't
line
here
F
last
on
time.
paragraph B? Second line down, third section in. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
you missed it, didn't you?
It's government working for you.
There you go.
They don't make it easy.
It's like that question. What would you say if the government came and knocked on your door and said, "Hey, we're here to help"?
Yeah.
I close the door.
Yeah.
Close the door. I'm good, thanks.
Thank you. Don't need your help.
Yep.
How much is it going to cost me? The
Yeah.
first thing I'd say.
Mm,
So, yeah.
Well,
take my money.
Okay.
once it starts,
Yep. So,
Oh, true.
well, have fun with Benny, Mike. He just says he's waking. He's with Benny. So, yeah.
Oh,
have fun
good.
with Benny. So, I think I straightened it out. I changed the message.
so enjoy it before the weather comes.
So,
Don't
yeah,
worry
we
about
also-
the message.
You also have the carnival coming tonight in the rain, the thunderstorms, and then it's tomorrow. And I don't think it's Sunday. I think they clean up Sunday. Is it Sunday also?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
So it's
I
just
think
Friday
it's
and
done
Saturday.
Friday and Saturday this year. Usually,
Because it ends with the fireworks. Usually.
the fireworks.
Yeah.
But
Like the end of it, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they usually had part of Sunday, but this year
Yeah.
the carnival's taken up and going. I think Ryan
Yeah.
was here. I think that's what he said. Remember?
Yeah, they were cleaning up for Sunday and leaving.
Yeah.
They had to go somewhere else, I guess.
But I think Sunday's usually nothing.
Yeah.
You don't ever see a lot of people.
It's
walking.
Father's Day. That's what it is.
Oh,
True.
Yep. Sunday's
right.
Father's Day, so everybody take care of your fathers.
oh,
You already took care of the mothers. Take care of the fathers.
I forgot about
We
that.
are people too. So anyway,
Are we?
Yeah, we
You
are.
sure?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I got to find
Hey,
out.
Dad, I need 10
Yeah.
bucks. Hey, Dad, I need a ride.
I have the car
Hey,
keys?
Dad, this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need
Dad,
some money
can
for
I borrow
gas.
the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, There you
Dads
go.
are important.
So I don't know. We're supposed to have our guests here already. So
I hear the doors opening and closing.
can
Are they
you
looking for
can
it?
you go on a search party, see if they're well, I know Tim knows where this is at.
They know where to come.
Yeah, come on in.
I was in the head.
Okay,
Come on in.
come on in.
There you go.
There's one.
I think you were pulling in.
Mr.
when
Lake.
we were pulling in.
I was.
I'm squared away now, so now we can bring you in and talk.
I
So
wasn't going to tell you the sound was off.
yeah, that's okay.
Wow.
That's Mike. He just sets me up. He just tests me. That's what he does. Yeah, see if he'll find this
Everybody
one.
was texting me like, "Is it? Are you going on for Psychic Thursday?" I said, "No, it's Friday."
No, I changed it. I called it Friday Fun, but there you go.
Yeah.
But so while we're waiting for how many other people are coming?
Just one more.
Just one more.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Just my
Excellent.
son.
All righty. So Tim, congratulations. You had a pretty good season, I think, right? Overall.
Yeah. Had a great season.
Did you meet your goals this year or exceed them?
Everything except for goal number 1 was to win more than 11. We won 15.
Okay.
Goal number 2 was to win the division. We won that.
Yep.
Goal 3 was to host an ECC tournament game. We did that and won.
Nice.
Okay.
Goal was to qualify for states and host. We did both those. Didn't win the state game, but after going through what we did the previous years, it was good. Everybody was happy.
Good.
That was the end result. The school was happy. The parents were happy. The kids were happy.
Sure.
Excellent.
Everybody was happy.
So what are you looking forward to now for, next year?
Well, I was looking forward to having Kiki here, but he just texted me and he overslept. He was going to come.
Sounds like somebody we know.
So Kiki yesterday, I bribed him with lunch. We're using the high school field for a tournament, Father's Day tournament this weekend. So I actually play tonight at 5:30 if it doesn't rain with my AAU crush team. So I said, Kiki, if you help me come down and do the field, I'll take you to lunch. The plan was to go to Hank's. I strung the line from home plate all the way out to the foul pole so I could paint the grass lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured Kiki all he had to do was stand there with his foot on the end of the thing. So we did that. After I sprayed the lines, I finished with the right field line. I have to tell this story because I know he's watching right now because he told me he was because he woke up late. Because I was so pissed off. But he's such a good kid that I couldn't. So I said, hey, do me a favor. It's on the little reel, so all you do is wind up the line. I said, I'm going to pull the mound cover off and the home plate cover off, and I'm going to hose them down, put the covers back on so they stay nice and good, so when the game time comes, I can rake them up. So I said, just wind it up. And I just did this. General sign for wind something up or reel something in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it, and I'm looking, and I look down there, and there's Kiki in right field, and he's pulling the line to himself. The end of the reel is at the foul pole. Kiki's pulling it all the way from home. He's just pulling it and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it. So I look down like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know what this is. Next thing you know, I look, it's in a ball of knots. 300 feet of line. And he tried to wrap it back up, but instead of wrapping it within the reel, he got it on the side 26 times.
No.
So
That took you a while.
For an hour. For an hour, he would pull out the line and give it to me, and I'd pull it through, and then I'd go through and I'd pull it through again 27 times for an hour. So I looked at him and he looked at me and said, Coach, are you sweating? I said, yes, I am, Kiki. I said, we're not going to Hank's now. We're going to Chili's where it's air conditioned. So that's where I took him. But
good choice.
He's a great kid. He was one of our big freshmen this year. He was 5-0 until the ECC tournament. He went all ECC.
I bet you something, but she's never going to forget what this means.
Never. When we were done, when I finally rolled up, like I reeled in the rest of it. Once I got it all knotted up and I reeled it in, he looked at me. He goes, "I'm never touching that ever again." I said, "Yeah, you're not." So, he's a great kid. I'm glad I have him for now he's a sophomore.
Yeah, got him for a few more years. Yeah,
and
unless he goes to free agency or something.
He's never leaving me now. I own him now after yesterday. And then, Sonny Botello. So you have, a couple of standout freshmen that played varsity all year. You lost Garvin, Colin Mitchell, and Cade were the three seniors that played a lot.
Yep.
And then you had Jacob Hamill, Ryan Tate, and Christopher Duvall, who didn't play as much. So you lost those six. So in the division, Stonington lost a ton. I think they had 7 seniors that all started.
Wow.
Bacon lost a ton. Plainfield left our division now. They're not in our division anymore. They dropped down to Division 4. And now Ledger dropped from Division 2 into our division.
So you're Division 3?
We're Division 3.
Okay. So you took ECC Division 3 then this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this year's Division 3 was Plainfield, us, Bacon Academy, Montville, and Stonington. Now next year's realignment is us, Ledyard, Bacon, Montville, Stonington. So Montville lost 1 senior. We lost 6, but we lost 3 that played every day.
Yeah.
So we lost the least. Everybody else lost a lot. So, we have a good freshman class coming in of baseball players, high IQ.
Good.
So future's bright.
Good.
Yeah, the field looks unreal. It still looks really good. I'll be using it most of the summer for all my crush stuff. The more we use the field, the better it stays in shape.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a good season.
Good.
Is that the field that floods all the time?
Huh?
Is that the field that floods?
It used to, but we put triaxle and a half of clay. We raised home plate up, so now it's tapered.
Okay.
So now when you put the cover on it, the rain rolls off of it as opposed to
Puddling.
puddling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, good.
I mean, we did a lot of work. Cravino said it was the best the field's looked since he's been there.
Good.
So as long as they keep, helping me with the little things, like we did a lot ourselves. Me and the kids did the field before practice, after practice, before games, after games. We don't leave until the field's fully raked, dragged, pretty meticulous with
Good.
it because,
Yeah.
we want them to play on something,
Yeah, you got to be proud of the field when you have visitors come to town.
Yeah.
Keep it in good shape. Plus, it's nicer to play on, right?
Yeah. A lot
course.
nicer.
Yeah.
Of course.
A lot nicer. And John Henn does an amazing job with, he's so busy there, so he'll do what he can. Like today, I said, it's not the school's tournament, right? It's a travel tournament. I said, just mow it for me. Make sure I have the stuff there and I'll do everything. So like I said, yesterday, could have done more, but Kiki screwed that up. And then I'm going back at like 3:00 today and I'll do the chalk lines on the
I think
field.
somebody should be buying you breakfast.
Man. I know. And then I flipped the bill for lunch. And that kid's not a small kid. He ain't a small kid. That kid can eat.
I don't care how size the kid is in high school. Boys just love to eat.
Boys love-
Bottomless pits. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let Jordan come over here and you can, get his perspective because Jordan's my son. So this is his first year. He was the JV coach and second assistant coach for varsity.
All right.
So I'll hop out, let him hop in.
Go ahead.
I've done this enough. He hasn't done yet.
Get the taste of it.
Kiki said hi.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
He just wants lunch.
Yeah.
He wants something. He woke up late.
All right. So Minarski's got a question for you. Can you sum up the season on one sentence? I guess that could be for both of you.
I would say it was a success. I think we had good success. Like he said about the whole goal situation. There were a lot of people that didn't think that we would get to the position we were in, and we proved them wrong. With the group we had, with all the seniors, I would say it was a success from what we did. Winning the division, hosting the ECC game, hosting the state game, like he said, just not getting over the hump of winning the state game, but beating the record that we had last year. I think the kids had more fun this year.
Do you think that had a lot to do with it? The attitude, the
100%,
environment had a
yeah.
lot to do with the success this year?
Playing for him my whole life, he's always been do your own thing, never like on you, never like, you got to do this. Like it's always laid back, do what you want to do, and just go out there and have fun and play the game. And that's kind of the mindset we put into the kids this year. We were very laid back, a lot of goofing off, at practices, out of practices, even at games. And I think that helped them a lot this year. They didn't feel pressured.
Good.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure there were tweaks, some mechanic stuff and things,
yeah.
things like that. You're always working on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
that was the big thing. They always listened. Like I'm only, I'm 24, so I'm not that far off from some of the seniors' age.
Yep.
But when it came time to listening, they did. There was from the freshman all the way to the senior, they listened to me when it came to helping them with anything from hitting, pitching, fielding, all of that. They understood and they respected it, and that was a big thing. So
good. Rich, you got anything to ask?
No, I don't.
This isn't just my show,
Yeah, no, I know.
That's
That's,
something.
no, it looks like you guys had a great year. That's awesome. I used to coach senior league softball years ago and farm system baseball. This is back prior to 2000. And like you said, it's, you keep the kids' attitudes light and loose. and they'll play better for you. There's no attitudes coming onto the field like, I watch this on TV all the time, so I know how to do it. But you give them the basics and you let them run with it, and you hope for the best. I mean, listen, it's a game. Somebody's going to win or lose. It doesn't matter. To make it as far as you guys made it, I think that's awesome. It really is. It says a lot for the school.
Cool. Kind of answered the question I had a little bit. What would you consider a successful year all the time? Like improvement in the kids, or is there a goal, like always goals you're setting more than last year? How would you say makes it a success?
You want me to do that one?
Yeah, if you want to go.
So, for me, a successful season can go a few ways. It's not just one thing. Like, obviously, successful season as far as record and championship and stuff like that, right? But as far as building a positive atmosphere, I think that's the first success for me. So this is my 25th year, 24th year coaching youth sports. Started at Norwich Little League. Started before that with my father in Preston. But I've always been that guy that I'm always a friend to the players. Okay, so we're on equal levels. I can't stand when kids call me coach. The majority of the players I know, Cravino don't like it, and I know Mike Wall don't like it from the Crush. They all call me Tim or Timmy, for me that it's not that I'm trying to be a kid. But it's easier to be on their level. And I'm not trying to be immature, but you have to try to get down to their level and understand them, so that way they trust you with absolutely everything, right? Whether it's on the field or off the field. And that atmosphere is what we built. And like I told you, you were here before, and I said after every practice, it was a hug and I love you. Right? The only time they'd say, I love you, coach, or I love you, Tim, hug him. They'd hug my assistant coach, Mike Brockway. Every practice, every game. And then we started going to Dean's every Saturday morning. Team breakfast, 20-something kids. And then we would go to the field and hit. So if it was a travel game, we'd go breakfast, hit, on the bus, travel. If it was a home game, we'd go breakfast, hit, and then get the field ready and play the game. So I've had other coaches tell me that your style isn't going to work later on in life. When I left Little League, you can't coach like you did in Little League. Well, in Little League, I won district championships and, had good years, and then entered the travel realm, and then eventually got to high school, and it works. I coached him his entire life that way. And I'm not going to change. It's been successful. Yep. The kids like it. The feedback has been really good this year. The parents have loved it.
That's the important part. You don't want a kid going home complaining about baseball sucks, right?
Yeah.
I don't like the coach, or I don't like this or that.
No, and
right.
Kiki wasn't even going to play, and he had 2 years off. So for him to come out there and be all ECC as a pitcher and do good and fall in love with it again, now I got him playing AAU Crush 15U. So now he's playing in the summer. So
nice.
The more kids that can get involved and do it, the better.
That's good.
I think part of the important part is a lot of kids need that. Not every kid has that home life where they can have someone they can look up to and be confident in.
Better than sitting around playing video games all day in the summer, right?
Well,
it's not just about the sport.
Plus,
I get text messages from the kids saying, "Hey, like Bryce Morissette is from Griswold. Goes to St. Bernard's. I get texts from him all the time. Hey, can we go get grub at Chili's? Just me and him, right? Because he just looks father figure type thing. Yeah. Kiki was the first one that texted me yesterday. He said, "Hey, I'll tell you exactly what he said. He didn't call me coach. He said, "Hey, where is it?
He doesn't fish, does he?
Coach Tim, what do you got today?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "I'm trying to do something today." I said, "Like what?" He said, "Anything." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll take you to lunch if you help me work on the field." So he did. There you go. And then that turned into a nightmare. But yeah, I don't know. He didn't pitch until I threw him out there one day. I'm like, we had 8 games in 10 days. So I'm like, you know what?
You needed pitchers, huh?
I need pitchers,
right?
You
need
so
rest
Kiki threw against Stonington and he beat him.
Wow.
Right? And then he shut out Plainfield. He shut out New London. He shut out Wheeler. And then he beat Montville. So he was 5-0 before for the ECC tournament. And then, Stonington saw him a second time around in the ECC tournament and they lit him up. Right. But that was good for him. Right. So we saw he saw the high side of being 5-0 as a freshman. And then he had to learn to deal with losing and not being the winner.
Yeah, a team that figured you out. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where he ends up being as a senior is going to be scary as far as talent. It's going to be scary because he's 250 pounds. He's huge. He's just big, muscular, tall. He hits the cover off the ball. And so as he gets stronger and gets used to baseball again, he's going to be, it's going to be interesting. So I'm excited to see where, and I haven't gotten a phone call said I'm fired, so I think I'm back next year. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't,
So how did you get Griswold?
So that's a touchy story.
Okay.
There was a previous coach that was there that I knew.
Okay.
And then when he left, I put in for the job and got it,
so there
basically.
you go. Nice and simple.
Yes. I mean, not, but
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
that version, yes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a Griswold resident. I didn't go to Griswold schools. I'm from Preston. I live in Norwich. I went to Ledyard.
Yeah.
But my father was drafted by the Astros, played Niantic Legion back in the day. I'm related to Billy Gardner, who coached Major League Baseball and played for the Red Sox. My uncle played for the Orioles in the 60s, was roommates with Boog Powell. So baseball's rampant in my family, but I was a basketball player. I didn't even play in high school.
Who in this room knows who Boog Powell is?
I've heard the name. Yeah.
I'm an Orioles fan, so every time we go to Camden Yards, we make sure we eat at Boog's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw him play when I was a kid in the late 60s. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome going to Camden Yards and watching a game, and he's got his big barbecue place out in center field, and a lot of times he'll be out there serving you.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's a cool dude.
He's got to be up there now in age.
Yeah,
He's got to be.
definitely up there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so that's it.
So cool. A lot of
Your son's following in your footsteps.
baseball.
He
Baseball's
is.
in your blood.
He is, and
There you
it's
go.
cool to have him. When he stopped playing, we both stopped. I stopped coaching, and he stopped playing after his 18-year-old travel year. I have a picture on my phone. We're hugging. That was our last game. All the emotions came out from 4 years old through 18, and you're with him every single day coaching. It just stops. And then he chose not to play at college. And so it was over. So I took 2 years off. I went back and did, I was working on modifieds for a modified tour for NASCAR. I was doing stuff for that. And then someone called me and said, you need to be coaching. you need to be back between the lines. So I did. And that was Mike Wall from the Crush. I came back, started coaching that. And then next thing you know, I coach middle school basketball in Preston. So I have 2 weeks off in August. And that's when me and my wife go on vacation. Other than that,
Oh, you got a wife.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
She
yeah.
allows me to do all of this.
Okay. Yeah, she allows you to do all of this.
Yes, I
There's
still have a
always,
wife.
There's always got to be a support system
Well,
somewhere
why
to
not?
be
It
able to
keeps you
do
out of
all this,
trouble,
right?
right?
Keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah.
She always knows where I am.
That's right.
We've been together since 16, and we've been married since 1999. Yeah, so which doesn't happen. So
So
Without her
did she know
support-
what she was getting into at 16?
no, she had no clue.
She like the team mother?
She is not.
No.
So she works till 6 o'clock. So she misses most of everything. She got Fridays off. Like she'll come to my game tonight, or she'll come on Saturday. She misses a lot, and I feel awful for her because during we were together so much. Like practices and game during the week,
Yeah.
she couldn't go to half of them. Right, we'd be in Brantford or we'd be somewhere.
Wow.
So she missed a lot. So it was tough on her because
Yep.
the relationship that him and I built, we were together every single day.
Yeah.
And she suffered because of that. And to this day, it still bothers me that it's something that she didn't get to enjoy as much as I did.
Yeah.
But like I said, now she has Fridays off, Saturdays. Last year we had a travel tournament in Maine. They both came. So it was
Good.
like a little family tournament.
Nice.
What does she do?
She works at Norwich Optometry, that new place over across from Burger King in Norwich. So she's been in the eyeglass, optometry for 20-something years. She's a billing specialist.
Nice.
So she works from home now. So she works like 8 to 6:30 at night.
Wow.
So she misses a lot. So
Okay.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do this. I'm 48. It takes a toll on you eventually.
Oh yeah.
It's not the physical stuff; it's just the mental part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're constantly thinking. To and from games, during the game, it's just like nonstop. I think I eat more aspirin now than I did when I had like injuries. You know what I mean?
You'll know that one day when you're suddenly pops in your head.
It's when it stops being fun.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That's
When the
bottom
passion
line. Yep,
stops,
bottom
right?
line.
When it's
Yeah.
not
Well, I
passion
think
anymore.
any kind of position where you're doing like this, volunteer work and you're coaching or you're a fire service or
Yeah.
any of that stuff, it's, you got this other stuff besides your regular job that keeps you busy, keeps you, going.
Yeah, my
But-
regular job, I'm working 2 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
Hmm.
Wow. So, and I go to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock at night. So what I
Jesus.
try to do is when I get out at 10:30, and he knows the drill, I come home, I try to take a nap for 2 or 3 hours, and then I'm at the high school field for 2 o'clock.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Yeah. I mean, but
So, yeah.
you know,
That's the way it works.
it'll catch up with me
Well,
eventually.
it catches up real quick.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Yeah,
everything looks good.
well, it's good. I think everybody here appreciates what you do, what you
Absolutely.
both do.
No, I appreciate that.
And you see the path where you're going now?
Yeah.
You're going to follow him?
Yeah.
You're going to be doing that for another 22 years or whatever it is, 24 years?
I hope.
So,
I know. What if he has what if I have grandkids? I don't,
yeah, you
If
got
he has
you
kids,
got a
I-
girlfriend
You can't
get
retire.
serious?
I know.
She knows what she's getting into? She probably knows what she's getting into, probably,
She's seen my past, so she knows what she's getting into.
Okay.
We talk about it every single day.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
nice.
jealous you didn't squeeze the chicken during the whole interview.
Oh, okay.
All
I
right.
should have squeezed it when I asked the question. Oh, you got a wife. Yeah, let's not forget about the one at home.
Yep.
So, anybody else got any questions for these fine gentlemen
What's in
here?
the future? Anything in particular?
Do one better than you did this year, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the goal is to win a state game. We haven't won one. To win a state championship is tough.
Mm.
That's grueling.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're built for that. It depends. It's luck. I mean, the state game, we were ranked 12th. We played 21 summers, ranked 21st, and we lost.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up going to the semifinals.
Did they? Wow.
Yeah, they made it to the semifinals. Coventry ended up winning it for Class S.
Mhm.
But, we could have beat them.
Yeah.
We just,
Are there really some teams, some schools out there that take this so serious that it's probably too serious? The ones that win at the state level like that, they're like semi-pro almost.
I mean,
Do they push that hard?
they get more kids to play, right? We had a lot more this year than we did the year
Mhm.
before. I had a JV team, which you weren't able to do. So we had a feeder system,
Yeah.
which you need to have. You can't just
Yeah.
go off of Jewett City Little League and the Junior League and the Senior League. You need to have a JV program where
Mhm.
those kids are getting reps. Otherwise, you're losing the kids because they're getting cut. So you have kids that want to play baseball, but they're not good enough to play varsity.
Is that what
So-
the rest of the schools have? JV systems in,
Yeah, well,
in your
NFA has
division?
freshman team,
Yeah.
JV team, varsity team because they get 80 kids trying out. East Lyme, 80 kids trying out.
Sure.
It's the population of kids that makes
Sure.
a difference.
Correct. And so
I don't know where you live.
correct. And you need to be competitive and successful for kids to want to come to play baseball,
Mhm.
right? Because if you had to pick a sport that Griswold High School is known for, like what would they be known for the most? Probably football,
Yeah, we have football, basketball.
Yeah.
right? Football's been successful.
Yeah,
So,
basketball's been successful
basketball's
recently.
been successful. Now
Yep.
baseball's starting to be.
And girl sports, some of the girl sports have been pretty good too. Volleyball.
I would like
yeah.
eventually for I would love to turf the infield at that field, like the football field to have turf just in the infield and be grass in the outfield.
Yeah.
Because baseball is the one sport that makes sense for the time of year we play.
Yeah.
Because of April and May showers.
Yeah.
You don't have flooding, right? So if you had just a turf infield, the outfield never floods. So you'd never get rained out of games unless it was actually raining. Right? But if
Yeah.
it rained poured the day before, there'd be no puddles, no nothing. You
I think
could play.
that was one of the stages of the study they did, the projects for the future. I think that was one of the stages.
I hope so. I mean, I hope I'm still there when it happens because,
Well, based on the voting, good luck.
I know. I've been watching that.
Well,
I know. I get it. It's a back
we
burner
have
everything.
to bring in some revenue
I know.
so we don't keep taxing the residents
Agreed.
as much. That's what we have to do.
I've been
They're
watching
working
from the
on
outside.
it. They're working on it.
I mean,
so.
I'm from Norwich, so they build stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Here, it's Lisbon that builds stuff.
Right.
And
Look
Griswold,
at the taxes in Norwich, though.
I know.
It's
crazy.
terrible.
Now
Absolutely
there's
terrible.
my wife was telling me about something that's going on down in Groton and their budget, and they're like 1.4 million in the hole,
Yeah, it was all.
and their mill
Big
rate's going to be
controversy,
as strong. It's going up to almost 7.5, 8 mil
Yeah.
or something like that because of that.
I want to say scam, but it was.
Yeah. So there's some,
controversy.
you
I know
know,
my dad's listening, so I figure I'll
Yeah.
do this to him, but that is what you call Bidenomics.
Yes.
yeah,
My dad's going nuts right now.
But do you see the attitude of the kids towards sports different than? I know it seems a little different than when we were growing up. Or is it more mental? Or, I don't know what the.
I think because of how I am, normally you'd say today's kids are lazy, right? They don't put the work in. Not my group.
Oh,
I mean, I was
that's
down the
good.
field yesterday. Sean Garvin, who graduated, Sam Gilgenbach, and Colin Mitchell, who graduated. All three of them were in the gym when I got to the field, lifting weights. Then they went down to the field as I was doing the field, and they were doing wind sprints for about 45 minutes. And then they went in the cage and hit. So even though
Are they going into college baseball? The three of them.
so Colin's
or-
going to Mitchell
Yep.
to play baseball. Sean's going to Eastern to play baseball, and Sammy's a junior turning senior. So,
Okay, good.
but they all play travel baseball.
All right.
So they're doing that on their own. You know what I mean? So even when it rained, I had a program set up where we would throw bullpens in the gym. We would go in the weight room. They would run stairs.
Mm-hmm.
We would do plyometrics set up. Cade Rubino, world's greatest athlete, would set up plyometrics course, and it would just stations, and we would just go.
Cool.
I'd set the tees up in the where they keep the mats in the other side of the weight room. Set up tees up against the curtain. So you'd have all these stations of these guys that do things for 2 hours. So we never lost time. We always did it, and I didn't have to sit there and babysit. You know what I mean? So if that answers your question,
So like
in
well,
today's
the way
youth-
you're presenting it is it's the way you approach them and the way you coach them, not necessarily their outside mentality.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think they have drive. I think I give them the opportunities to be more successful.
Yeah.
And they take them. I don't remember. Nobody talks back. Nobody gives me attitude. Nobody takes advantage of me at all the entire season. And then when I need to be stern, I'm stern. But for the most part, I'm laid back. We just do what
Nice.
we need to do, and the kids do it and say, I love you, and go home. And that was the thing, just build a family atmosphere where they can tell you anything. If these kids will call me and they'll say, hey, I need to vent to you, whether it be about school or about something in life. And so for me, that's important. I mean, my wife texted me yesterday and said, it's pretty cool that kids call you and want to hang out with you to do things.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. I said, well, that's just makes me feel good because I have kids that played minor league baseball, played for the University of Duke. I have kids that still text me on my birthday and holidays and all that stuff. And that means a lot to me because that means I've had an impact in some way in their life.
That's great.
You know
That's
what I mean?
good. Yeah.
I
So-
think one of the coolest things was just the other day was Sonny, the letter.
Oh, yeah. So Sonny, I don't want to embarrass him, but Sonny had a project to do for school where he had to write about someone inspirational in their life, and he could have chose a teacher or anybody else. So he chose me.
Wow.
So
Great.
Nice.
yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
would go nuts.
Good.
Good thing I didn't bring the letter because he told me to not show anybody.
Yeah.
But and it was an awesome letter, right? So there's another freshman who also plays for me on travel baseball. So those relationships with those kids, just texting me the goofy memes that they'll send to me sometimes, and
Yep.
as long as there's that interaction that stays there, I'm good with it because after the state game, I was a mess saying goodbye, knowing it was our last game. I mean, I even got him to cry because it's tough to look at those kids in the eyes that you went to school with every single day to work on baseball, and then it stops. Like, I think the next day I was on the couch in the fetal position, like literally depressed, right? Because here's 2:30 and I'm not at the school.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, like this is horrible. And you got 6 kids you're never going to coach ever again, right? 3 of them, Hamill and Tate, I think, are going to EB.
Yeah.
And Duvall, Christopher Duvall is going to work. And the other 3 are Cade's going to go for football, and the other two are going to play baseball.
Mhm.
But it's just the fact that you're not going to coach them again, and that was the difficult part. So Yeah. I couldn't
Well, yeah,
get-
but you
I
still
couldn't
had the
get through it.
impact on them, right? To move
Yeah,
forward,
Right.
move
And there's
forward
always
life.
just more kids
right?
coming.
And
So,
there's
you
more
know,
kids coming through.
Exactly.
Right. So
Yeah.
all you can do is look forward and how you're going to impact future kids
next ones.
moving
Yep.
forward, right?
Oh, I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I do. I eventually flip that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to. I've been doing it for this long, right? So there's
Yeah.
been kids and kids and kids, but it's just a special group, so it's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
More important than winning a sport.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. At the end of the
Was
day,
this your
the
first year
relationship-
as Griswold head coach?
As the head coach.
As the head
My
coach?
third year.
Third
total.
year at Griswold, but your
Yeah.
first year as head coach.
First year
That's
as head coach.
maybe that's even part of it. As time goes on, you'll probably get more used to it. I mean, you'll never get used to it totally over it when kids leave, but first year head coach is your first team really,
Yeah.
as the head guy.
For high school.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
high school.
I'm
so
the head coach every year for travel. And
Yep.
You lose kids every year and you get new kids every year. But this is tougher. Like the umpire asked me the other day during one of our travel games, said, what do you enjoy more, high school or travel? And I enjoy both. But
Yep.
high school is a different animal because you have more to play for, right? You're playing for the school. For travel, you're playing for the person that runs it, the kids that are in the organization, and the name on the jersey. But you're playing for the school, for the pride. The kids have, this is where they live.
Yeah.
Parents are more involved with the high school. They want to do more things. And my parents this year were unbelievable. The Gilgenbachs, the Mitchells, the Hamels, Duthreys, Batellos.
you're talking about Mrs. Hamill, right? Mr. Hamill. You don't want to talk about him.
He was around more this year.
Yeah, he
was
doesn't do much
around
of
more.
nothing.
And AJ came back around. So I was there when AJ was there. I was an assistant.
Yep.
So AJ, had him come in the dugout, and I think Rubino ripped his hand open, sliding head first in the third at Dodd. And before the game, I seen AJ with his cowboy boots and his greasy shirt and his pants, and they say, "Hey, you want to come in the dugout?" He's like, "Can I?" I'm like, "Of course. I'd love to have you in there." Right? He's a former baseball player. And so when Rubino ripped his hands open, I'm taking advantage of this. So we have just a med kit.
Mm-hmm.
AJ's part of the FAR EMT.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as Rubino came in, I said, AJ, patch him up.
He did all right.
Yep.
AJ patched him up.
That was his instructor. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
AJ was the one kid when we did walkout songs and the kids got him. I'm not a big country fan. So AJ's like, Coach, can I have a country walkout song? I'm like, sure, AJ. Sure. I mean, those two kids kill me because AJ had a country walk-up song and Jacob had Careless Whisper by George Michael or Wham. That was his walk-up song. So it was like an 80s. Every time it came out, he'd look down at me because I'm an 80s guy, even though I listen to rap.
Yep.
I'm an 80s guy, so every time that song came on, it's Careless Whisper. I'm dying. Everybody else got rap, and here comes Jacob Hamill out to Careless Whisper. But it's just little things like that you remember, right? Like I told him, like I remember more of the hotels and the travel and the talks to and from practices and games than I do about the baseball games themselves. That's what you remember about travel. High school, you remember the little in-between things, the conversations and the texts, right? And in baseball, I can remember every play of every game I've ever coached just about. But they don't stick out as much as the pranks, the fun, the miniature golf, the restaurants, and all that other stuff, So,
Cool.
I hope that gives you a glimpse of how much I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right? And how
I
passionate
think-
I am about it.
I think all the kids appreciate you. I think
If they didn't, they wouldn't play for you.
your athletic director probably appreciates you.
Sure.
The superintendent,
Yeah.
everybody appreciates what you've done this year with the baseball team, and the town has that's followed you through the years.
Yeah.
Through the year,
That's
and
awesome.
And I feel comfortable in here with all the ink.
Yeah.
there you go.
I feel comfortable in here.
Oh,
I mean,
excellent. Yeah, I don't have any.
I know.
Yeah.
He's got a few.
And I'm a Navy guy, so I don't have any
I know.
tattoos.
You don't even have the anchor or anything?
No, none of that stuff.
The
You know?
USN or
No,
something.
I should.
Nothing?
You think I'd have an American flag plastered on my chest or something like that?
He's got like 2 or 3. I don't think he'll. Oh, there you go. He's got like 2 or 3. I don't think he'll get to where I'm at.
I have a feeling Waslick's probably going to get me drunk and drag me down here somewhere, probably.
Yes. Yes.
As soon as the needle hits him, he won't be drunk anymore, though. Yeah.
No, it ain't that bad. It's the
So-
one that has like 20 needles is the
Oh,
best
yeah.
when they do the shading.
Oh.
See, I think the outline's worse. The single needle.
Really?
Yeah, that makes
This,
you like.
one right here, they did it all with an outline needle.
What was the most painful spot for you?
Right here,
Really?
right in this
Yeah,
chest.
up in here.
Yeah. So my elbow.
The elbows were no treat either.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't that bad. Down here, I think the worst part is under
down
here.
there, yep.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
That's what I just finished up with under
See how
here
that
with
turned into a tattoo
Calvin
talk?
and Speedy Gonzalez, and that was.
So
Yeah.
you got a lot of color.
My back is all covered too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from my father, it's like the whole like Death Angel with the sword and everything, going down the spine. The first minute, but then after
Yeah, that should be your. You want to hear a funny story about this? This is baseball, right? So every year I do the coaches convention at Mohegan Sun, the big one that the Walkers run, and not only the Walkers, but can you name somebody famous baseball player from Griswold that came out of Griswold besides Bill Dawley?
Trobiak?
No. There's another one. I'll see if anybody come. I won't tell you guys. I'll
So does
wait and see.
anybody out there know the answer to that question?
Yeah.
I got a couple, chat things on
Minarski
here.
would know.
Little Cooper loves Coach Tim. That's from Erica.
Oh,
Erica also, he had a great time with the baseball team. So, and Emma says hi. So, anybody got a question? What was that question again, Tim? That was about
There is another name. It's in the back of my head.
who
I can't
other-
think of it.
it's a trivia question. I'm not going to
trivia question about who came out of Griswold.
In the I think early '70s when they were winning all their baseball state titles,
Oh, that's long before my time, before I came up here.
he played minor league baseball. He helps run the coaches convention at Mohegan Sun with Pete and Andy Wigger.
Cooper Criswell?
Who?
Cooper Criswell?
No.
Rob Griswold? Jordan Griswold?
No, Kiki. Who is it? Tell me. He wants to know. The kid that's supposed to be here. Who is it? Tell me. Like, how can you get mad at that face yesterday? I almost.
It's a pretty familiar name. I just can't.
All right, you want me to tell you? Roger LaFrancois.
That's who it is.
Oh,
Damn it.
Roger LaFrance.
So,
Yep.
so the baseball convention, Roger and the Walkers, they run that. So every year I go help.
Okay.
So one of my former players, Hunter Jaworski. Jaworski's played at Killingly. Really good baseball players. Hunter Jaworski's at Salve Regina right now. He was at Mitchell.
Mary Beth Malin said Roger LaFrancois.
There you go.
I don't know who she is, but
But she's smart.
yeah, well, she is too smart for her britches sometimes. But that's okay.
So this kid used to ride with me, and the quietest kid in the world. So we're driving to a tournament, and hey, can I have the aux cord? Play my music. I have like 6 kids in my car. Like, yeah, sure. This is back when we had the aux cord, right? Plugs it in. It's the most hardcore rap I've ever heard in my entire life, right? So it blew me away. So I'm starting to find things out about this Hunter kid. So we're at the baseball convention. He comes up to me and goes, "Hey, Tim, I want to get a tattoo. Can I go to your guy?" And so my guy's John Fish Inc. So he's in Norwich, right across from the hospital. He turned his garage into a tattoo studio. Does unbelievable work. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll give you the name of my guy." So I give him the name. He sets up an appointment. This kid's never had a tattoo before. All right. My first tattoo was like Jen, my wife's name, like this big in Florida. Right. And I was like, that sucked. Next thing you know, that I see a picture. This kid got
Oh, Jesus.
his entire back wings.
Oh,
He got the angel wing, and then he got like the devil wing or whatever you want to call it, right? So he got the angel wing, the whole thing for his first tattoo. Now, his dad, Jim Jaworski, retired school teacher from Canterbury, nicest family in the world. And his dad used to get mad he wouldn't allow Hunter to play rap music in the car. So Hunter would struggle. The day that Hunter played rap music in my car, he went like 4 for 4 and hit 3 triples.
jeez.
So I looked at, and so his dad was like, "I don't know what got into him." And I said, "I do, Jim." So I pulled Jim aside. I said, "Listen, man, do me a favor. Let him play his rap music. Just put in earplugs or just tone it out." The kid went 4 for 4.
Wow.
So ever since then, Hunter's, listened to his music and played. So I run into Jim at the convention, and I think he's going to kill me, right? Because now Hunter saw me, and he wants a tattoo. Next thing you know, he's got his entire back done. So I walk up to Jim, I'm like, "Hey, Jim." He's like, "Hey, did you see Hunter's tattoo?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "It's huge." I said, yeah, it's you. Just I don't have anything on my back. That's pretty tough. And he goes, yeah, I kind of, it's okay. It's okay. And Jim's the most nicest guy in the world. Fast forward to the following year, his youngest son shows up, Bo. He's got tattoos.
Jeez.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh, man, this guy loves me. And he's about to hate me. But I get videos from him every single day, from his kids, from Bo and from Hunter, because they're still playing. So little things like that. It's just funny when we were talking about tattoos. This kid's first tattoo was the size of the SNSN logo.
Jeez.
Yeah, hilarious. But I won't take up any more of you guys' time. I
No, that's
appreciate you
okay.
guys having
No,
me
thanks
in.
for the conversation. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming in.
Anytime.
And
Congratulations and good luck next year.
Thank
yeah,
you. I
good luck
appreciate
next year. Take it easy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's great.
See ya.
Enjoy.
You do a pretty good job. You guys might not need Mike back.
Right?
Yeah.
See ya.
Awesome, guys. Enjoy.
All right. So I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes bitching about Facebook. How's that? No. That way nobody will miss Mike. Get that,
Awesome.
Mike? Anyway.
Bye.
So
That's
that
good.
was interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Thank them for coming by.
I just like the
and,
aspect of it's not just about
It's
baseball.
not about the game.
right. It's
about-
about,
yeah, it's about the
building a
kids.
relationships
Yeah, right.
and trust and
Yep.
everything else. I think that's great.
It is.
That's awesome.
So
a lot of kids need that today.
and they're not afraid to go out in the field and make a mistake.
No, you have to be.
You know, so you know, and the
Pros
whole
make
thing about
mistakes.
life is
Yeah.
you're going to be making mistakes. You got to learn from them. You got to be able to cope with them,
Exactly.
yeah,
and you got to be able to have somebody to trust you can go to talk about
Right.
stuff.
Yep.
You know?
So I remember growing up
So-
and some of the coaching, and it's one of the reasons I didn't play baseball in high school is the coach and the way it was too
If you
mil-
weren't in the popular crowd, you didn't.
Yeah,
get
you
to
didn't play
It
and
didn't matter.
everything. So
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, it is. You got to have that
Yeah.
trust. You got to
Yeah.
have the people that you can talk to and learn from, and not be afraid to ask for help and things like that. You know, if you're struggling with an aspect in life or in a game. So, yeah. So it was really good. So
It's good that he's got a lot of knowledge of the game too. I remember in Little League when I was a kid, it was, you got put on a team, you had a coach and he had an assistant, and they were just two fathers from the community. I remember my father knew nothing about baseball.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero, never played.
Yeah.
And that's what you had. And, you made the best of it yourself,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
and we had a good time.
Yeah.
We had a good time playing. We never, advanced to any level of anything other than we played our season and that was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I think he was kind of right. Best memories I have of playing baseball was not about baseball.
we didn't have any practices. We
Yeah.
had nothing.
We had practices,
No.
we had this, we had that, but
Yep.
I don't remember some of my best memories being about playing the game. It was the
Right.
team and the friends and
Right.
having a good time.
Right.
Always going to the
Yep.
food stand afterwards with the team.
We didn't even have that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I played in Basra,
we
we had
yeah,
up on 163.
yeah
we had the field.
cornfield. Yeah,
Well, now they got the little senior center. That wasn't there when I
Yeah.
played, but there was no hamburger stand. There was nothing. You
Yeah.
played, you went home. It
Yeah.
didn't even bring a cooler with water in it. It's nothing.
no, we had a concession stand. We had
Yep. Nope.
decent little ballpark when I
We
was in
never
Little
played
League
other
and in minor
towns.
league.
Nothing.
And like you said, but it was mostly fathers
Yeah,
that
all it
was
was. Yeah,
doing
parents
it.
make
And
the
you did
league
have
work.
some fathers that did it for many, many years, even
Sure.
after the kids
Sure.
left. I did it for like 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
When my son was going through it.
They were coaches. They were the umpires. They were everything. There was nothing. I mean,
Yeah, and
it
you
was-
if you were a coach and
we
they
had them
needed an
old itchy
umpire.
uniforms and you scratched
Oh, yeah.
like you had fleas.
Yeah, you were
Well,
automatically
oh,
signed up
yeah.
to be an
Mold.
umpire too if you're a coach if
Yeah.
they needed somebody.
You
so,
were an umpire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's a lot of volunteering going on out there.
That's a ton. That's major.
Kids, you could barely get the ball over the plate. Never mind over the plate with a lot of speed and accuracy like they do today. It's a
Yeah.
different world. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
That's why I think they bring too much of the professionalism
yeah,
into. You got to
kids
start
are-
in small.
Kids are still growing and developing.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stretching them like that. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's
Yeah.
I think that's
you know
part
what?
of the-
It works.
Yeah.
You
well, obviously his
his record shows it.
strategy works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a big
And
jump
multiple-
from last year this year.
multiple levels.
So
Awesome.
so good.
Yeah, that was good.
Hey, anybody else got anything out there that's listening? Maybe still that has any questions about anything about the town, about what's happening this weekend? Like we said, it's Father's Day,
Yeah.
Sunday.
Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Yep. Got the carnival tonight. Unfortunately, hopefully it won't rain too much. Won't be too bad. And then tomorrow's Heroes Day and the carnival and fireworks tomorrow night.
Come on down.
Got anything going on in the next week that we know of? I think we get a
No,
break.
kind of strangely, no.
I think we get a break next weekend, right? We don't have to do anything.
Not that I know of.
You
Yeah,
had an RTC
So-
meeting, right?
you do. I won't be. I'm working.
Yeah.
But,
What?
yeah. RTC meeting.
Oh, we
I
got
think
some
there's-
committee meetings, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
like community stuff or
No.
something.
No,
like that,
strangely,
know?
it's quiet.
Yeah, last week it was the reason to ride
Yeah,
that we had support.
I think it's a week off.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think we
Except
have the. No, that's the following week. The life member dinner for the fire department. The following week,
Yeah.
the major meat controversy.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Mary Beth Malin got the answer. She gets the grand prize of me coming home.
Wow,
So there you go.
giddy up.
Boy, she's so lucky.
Anyway,
I think I need an omelet.
I don't see anything from Kathy or nobody.
No, she's in a meeting.
She's in a. Oh, that's right. She's
Yeah.
got another meeting.
Yeah, tell you, busy time for
I
her.
don't know, it is.
Yeah.
So
Got a lot of projects coming up at work, real job.
a real job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than the other 12 volunteer jobs she's got, along with some of the rest of us around here. But,
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, got anything else, guys, want to talk about?
No, I'm hungry.
You're getting hungry.
No, I think it's
Breakfast coming up, I guess. I'm hearing is
Hint,
there
hint.
breakfast.
hint. Oh,
breakfast?
what?
So I guess Mike's paying. We're just
Yes,
sending him the
it's on
tab.
his dime.
Yeah, because he's
Oh,
not here.
okay,
Yeah.
well, if it's on his account, we're good.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be a busy weekend, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, everybody be safe out there. Let's not have any car accidents, motorcycle accidents.
Yeah, we've had enough of that the
stuff.
last
We had
couple of
enough
weeks.
that. Drive safe out there. And if you go to the carnival, look out for your kids and have a good time.
Mhm.
And I guess we'll see you around because I think all three of us will be there at some point
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yep. Sounds
And,
like I'll be there most of it.
We'll be at the public health and safety booth, and Rich will be.
I'll
with
be
the
there
fire
too.
department.
Both of them
Yeah,
walking
both of them,
around.
so walking around. So you can come and talk to us. Yeah, we won't bite.
Too hard.
So.
Yeah.
All right. I guess you guys have a good weekend. And Mike and Paul will be here Monday. I don't know which one of us will be the third.
I won't.
But, or maybe Mike will have a special guest we don't know about yet.
Well, this is true.
Stay tuned.
This is true.
Stay tuned. So, all right. Have a good night
All right, giddy up.
or good evening or
Enjoy.
good afternoon.
Say goodbye.
Bye bye.